Hey, adventurers. It's me, Kylan, back with your next mission, Wholesale Violence with Kylan. So, I am fresh from seeing No Time to Die. It is Daniel Craig's fifth and final Bond movie. I believe it's the 25th movie in the entire series, the entire franchise. So, um, my quick take on it is that the, it was wow, like it was epic. There were some bold moves that were taken that I had not particularly seen in the franchise for the whole run, and it was fresh um, and surprising. So I would I feel like it bears a second viewing, to be honest with you. There's a lot in it. Um, Remy Malek is spectacular. He is a sympathetic yet not sympathetic villain. There's a lot of closure that takes place in this movie. Um, so that being said, uh, if you're on the fence about it, definitely go see it. Now, here's the bonus. I'm also going to I want to jump in real quick here and just talk about the Daniel Craig era as a whole, because this is the first time that they've actually taken a series of movies within the Bond franchise and made a full story arc out of it. Starting from Casino Royale all the way through to No Time to Die. Uh, this is a. It was interesting to see them do that, and I liked it. And considering all the things that happened in No Time to Die, I don't know if that means that this is the continued direction they're going to go with the movies uh, when we get the new Bond. Um, but let me just kind of just touch on each of the movies in the in the Daniel Craig era. So Casino Royale, this is almost like this is a soft reboot of the franchise. We're seeing Bond uh, become a double O and agent and complete his first assassination, actually the first two assassinations. He is not polished at all, and this is a really stripped down version of Bond. A lot of the things that we come to expect from a Bond movie are not in here. He's not very polished. Um, and at the same time, this is actually a Bond that was certainly more in line with what you have gotten from the uh, Jason Bourne franchise. It's grittier. It's a little bit more real world. Uh, so we move from that into Quantum of Solace. Quantum of Solace, of the five movies, to me is the weakest of them all. Uh, the past week, the week leading up to No Time to Die, I watched each of these movies. Uh, Quantum of Solace was a slog for me. I wanted to like it, uh, but it just didn't. It's necessary in the sense that it's part of the story, and so, and there are some things that happen that move the story forward, but still a struggle. Uh, Necessary to watch, but a struggle. And then we move on to Skyfall. definitely a stronger movie. I enjoyed it. You almost get a peek into Bond's past with this, and you also see Judi Dench as M. Basically, her tenure ends, and we're bringing in Ray Fiennes. Now, the other thing that I found interesting about this movie, or the connection between the Daniel Craig franchise or the Daniel Craig run of Bond and the Pierce Brosnan, is that you still had Judi Dench as M, but you have this obvious reboot. And so it's sort of like, well, that happened, but we're just going to forget that and we're going to start here. And I was fine with that. It was interesting that they went with the move to keep Judi Dench as M, which I loved her as M also. She's cold. She's a strong leader. Uh, but there's also this frustrated, almost mother type relationship between her and Bond. And you really see that come full circle in Skyfall. Uh, Now, from Skyfall, we move into Spectre. By the time we get to Spectre, you got full on Bond now because you have, by the end of Skyfall, MI6 has moved to the another location, which is similar to the location that it was in the earlier franchises with Sean Connery and Roger Moore. So you have that. You have the gadgets. You got the cars. You get Moneypenny finally in. Oh, actually, I stand corrected. You get Moneypenny in Skyfall. You get Moneypenny, and a different take on Moneypenny as well. So then, by the time you get to Spectre, everything is the Bond that you know is there. All the little tropes and things that we had come to love about Bond are there, but this is definitely its own animal. Um, and we get introduced to Blofeld in this one. So now we go from, and there's some things that go on in that movie that definitely it felt like that. Well, I'll say it like this. Initially, Daniel Craig was going to leave after Spectre. That was going to be his last one, and you see the way certain things happen in the movie that this was going to be the end for him. But then they talked him into coming back for one last one, which gets us to No Time to Die. Um, it's it's big, it's epic. It brings everything full circle, and you see some things in this that you either wondered about, if you read the books or if you're just a fan of the movies, you wondered, well, does this happen? Does that happen? Or has this happened? A lot of those unanswered questions are answered. Or if you're playing What If with this franchise, there are things that are given to you that have not ever been even hinted at, with the franchise up to now. Uh, so I walked out of that movie thoroughly satisfied. Uh, Bold moves, really bold moves, but strong storytelling, great character development. And you realize that by the time you get to the end of this, that you have really grown to love a lot of these characters. Um, and to take that a step further, um, I I would love to see a director's cut of this entire run. Um, because I just feel like that there was so much story that they had to tell that some of it ended up on the cutting room floor. And I don't know, I would like to see what more did you wanted to do with this. So yeah, the Daniel Craig era is over. But he is now my favorite Bond. I prior to that, my favorite Bond was Timothy Dalton. He was closest to Bond in the books. Uh, but I felt like Daniel Craig picked that up. Now, maybe had we been fortunate enough to get more uh, Timothy Dalton, we now maybe we would have gotten the same level of storytelling. But that's playing what if. But what we have here is that great level of storytelling. I would definitely rewatch this run again and again. I even as I did it this last time, I came away with something different with each movie. So yeah, so I'd like to know what you think. Are you a Bond fan or do you not care? Either way. But if so, you know what? Um, Hit me up, comment, or if you're over with me on Facebook, we can talk there. Also on Twitter as well. Just look up Wholesale Violence. I'm there too. So, that being said, you guys have a good one and peace. If you dig the vibe, like and subscribe. Mission complete.